Yo, it's Spectral with an unserious video for the first Timmy. Like you saw from the title, we are ranking tier lists on a tier list. Stupid idea, I know, but I am so damn bored. By the way, during this video, I will not glaze any server at all and rank completely on an objective side if you even care. No glazing or no offense. Let's start cooking. All right, let's start with a server that no one really knows or cares about, which is Uni. To be honest, who follows Uni tier lists, bro? These guys release once every year and then dippy for no reason. Actually, the reason is probably because they can't find tier list makers. But anyway, let's inspect their tier list. Well, we can't really comment on their value since it is from June 17th. But speaking for the tier list's design, it looks basic and simple. And it also looks like what would be the final product if 2 hours and SDR had a baby. I'm putting this to the bottom D tier because no one uses it. They are not releasing on a schedule, and literally most people hate it on its values at the time it was released, if I remember correctly. Next up, we have AVR. As you know, AVR is basically hated majorly by the SDR community. I have no idea about what Pancaker community thinks about them, but since the two are a bit similar to each other, it is likely the same as SDR. And sometimes I find myself thinking controversial about it, I can't lie, due to some kinda obvious reasons. But hey, they created a whole new meme and all, so I think they deserve the me tier. All right, now let's get going with a bigger fish in the ocean. Consider the other two we just ranked. Which is Pancaker? I mean, it used to be good and still probably somewhat good, but recently they have been putting some really interesting values. Not limited to that, of course, but I am too lazy to remember and find the others. I also want to say a couple words regarding the design, and I know they are working on reworking it, but still, we get that. It is Pancaker. Man, why are pancakes all over my screen and not the values also? It looks a bit cartoony type stuff to me. I don't know if you agree with that overall. They also made a meme and stuff, and probably bigger one than AVR's meme. So I'm also putting them at the meme tier. No! Let's get a bit serious since there are only 2 servers left. By the way, I realized I forgot to say the tier system. So here is a quick introduction. D tier is the bottom tier, which means bad. Above it, we have the meme tier, which is for servers that created memes out of the values they've put. Next, we have the B tier, then the A tier, and lastly, the S tier. Okay, now, let's get on to the top second server. Which 3's SDR. I mean, it was really obvious if you ask me. I don't know if they have a schedule or not, but they update around every 5 to 7 days, which is too long for a tier list update if you ask me. I know the economy is just complete shit right now, but still, it could be done in 3 or max 4 days in a no restock scenario. Other than that, they make good values right now if you ask me. One problem that I have with SDR is when I look at the AUT chat, no one really answers WFLs, which is the purpose of the channel in the first place. This is non-related to the video, but dear SDR staff, if you are seeing this, I think you guys should do something about it somehow. Anyway, back to the video. About their design. There are not much to talk about since it is plain, and the overall layout looks like the last design template I made, so it's God! It is definitely better than the themed tier lists. I am putting them in B tier, because even in this case where they are really good, there is one server that has beaten every single server so far in terms of votes, fast updates, design, values, and, of course, accuracy. Wait, betties. 2 hours. Yo, but Spectral, you said you won't glaze any server, including yours. Yes, I did, and I kept my promise. Since 2 hours was launched, it quickly rose above every server in terms of votes in AUT. The reason behind this is fast and constant updates with accurate values, ready to be published at any minute. Also with a design that is monotone and simple, yet focuses on the tier list part rather than miscellaneous information. Overall, they are really good. Even though there is a part that hates 2 hours because of the people that runs the server, if you actually look at its tier lists instead of unnecessary drama, you can see that they are doing a really good job. Also, one thing that puts them into a whole different tier than others is that they have a website for value lists. Similar to what people do in other games like Murder Mystery 2 and Jailbreak, which are much bigger games comparing the communities of them to AUT community. If you ask me, this is a much better idea if there are funds to do it, and all cause you have no limit of putting the skins, unlike a tier list, which every time you run out of space, you have to somehow increase the space and probably rework the whole design. A website fixes that completely, and like that's not enough, it is also much easier to update without spending 2 or 3 hours on editing. Overall, 2 hours is a good server with accurate values, fire design, and a lot of innovations. That is why I am putting them at the A tier, which qualifies them as the best tier list among all other tier lists right now on all AUT. It feels like we forgot one thing, though. Remember, there is one more tier, which is S tier. At the S tier, there can only be one server, which is Prime SDR. No one ever were even close being nearly as good as Prime SDR. Everyone liked the server, everyone liked the tier lists, and everyone had fun playing the game. Now, neither the current SDR is the same as it was before, nor the game is fun to play. The quality and the fun we had on those days will likely never come back again. That is why Prime SDR is on the top tier, and it will always be on the top tier. That's all from me, y'all. I hope to see you guys in 2 hours. Link is on the description and probably on the screen right now. Anyways, goodbye.